So I don't know if you noticed in the social media or in the regular media or the television or the newspaper how Pope Leo caused some level of controversy back on Tuesday and responding to some reporters' questions. And his response echoed, although he didn't use these words, what we commonly call the consistent ethic of life. Yes? That we are obliged to advocate and protect life from conception until natural death. And it set poorly with a lot of folks, this teaching on the consistent ethic of life, but it's important for us to listen to that um, carefully, especially as we begin our October. As you hopefully well know, the Church in the United States recognizes October as Respect Life Month. And the Pope noted that the teaching on each of those issues is very clear. And with so much of what Christ teaches and what the Church teaches, it's challenging for us to accept. It's challenging for us to accept when we have a deep-seated expectation that Christ's teachings and the church's teachings should conform to our own ideas, to our own priorities, to our own philosophies, as if God should be grateful to us because we did what was commanded. Yes, by just coming to church. Yes, by calling ourselves Catholic. We find ourselves so often, sisters and brothers, trying to get Christ and his church to conform to our ideas, to our priorities and our philosophies. And we find ourselves surprised and distressed, crying out to God about the destruction and violence before us, complaining about strife and clamorous discord. We find it difficult to accept what St. John Paul II taught, that we are called to bear witness that every human being is somebody unique and unrepeatable. It's difficult for us to recognize, even in this Respect Life Month. God bless you. Good job. Difficult for us to accept what we hear all the way back in that first chapter of Genesis, yes? That God created mankind in his image. That all of us, from conception to natural death, are made in the image and likeness of God. And we find ourselves, as we saw in the referendum last year, sisters and brothers, surprised that we are not convincing other folks about the importance of human life and human dignity. But we can't convince others if we don't believe it ourselves. And that's where faith comes in, sisters and brothers. The apostles asked Jesus. Hopefully, we ask Jesus, increase our faith. And Jesus tells them, and Jesus tells us, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you would say to this mulberry tree, be uprooted and planted in the sea, and it would obey you. And how often, sisters and brothers, do we find certain ideas and priorities and philosophies have deeper roots in our consciousness, in our minds, into our intellects, far deeper roots than the most robust mulberry tree. Yet God does give us faith, certainly and especially in the sacrament of baptism. He does give us faith. And in giving us this gift of faith, sisters and brothers, he does not give us a spirit of cowardice, but of power and love and self-control. In giving us the gift of faith, sisters and brothers, we have the ability to hear his voice and harden not our hearts. As we struggle, sisters and brothers, to understand and accept the teachings of Christ and the teachings of his holy church, we rely on the abundance of God's kindness to give what prayer does not dare to ask. Praise be Jesus Christ, now and forever.